We are going to make a video right now. Okay. Me and you. Okay? Okay. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
So I really screwed up my hand. I don't have it wrapped or anything like that because I don't think my hand is broken, but it could be. I've never had a broken hand before, so I don't know what the pain feels like to determine if I need to go to the hospital to get it checked out because of that bike crash that you guys may or may not have seen on my bike vlog. But all I can tell you is I can move my hand, but my two pinkies, because this is a pinky and this is a pinky, my pinky and my ring finger hurts. I mean, I can make a fist, but it hurts just a little bit. It's not like excruciating, but if someone touches my hand, like, I can touch it, but if somebody else touches it for some reason, it hurts pretty damn bad. And I wish traffic wasn't so perfectly spaced out to where I couldn't go. I just want to go. I'm gonna go right now. Jeep, you're gonna have to get pulled out in front of, sir. My hand hurts. It hurts to steer, and I always steer with my left hand. And I'm dealing with, like, the pain of, like, I'm pushing myself through it. Like, oh, this hurts so bad, but I have to steer because even though I have my right hand and it feels fine, it's just awkward. It's like I feel like I'm stretching. Or this one, I just feel like, yeah, this is the spot. This is the where I need to be. This is my groove. This is it. This is how I'm comfortable. This is how I ride. I can do anything in this position. Whereas this one, I feel like I'm just going to hit everybody, and I can't do that. And my seat was way far back. What is up with that? There we go. That's better. I put my steering hand on the steering wheel at the 10 o'clock position, and then my arm goes to the top of the door frame, and then like a 45-degree angle back up to my shoulder. And then I can drive comfortably. It's like no effort into steering. I've been wanting to get this out for a while, but I've never been able to think of a way of saying it without sounding like a complete asshole to everybody. But when I was driving school buses, I had an issue with vehicles, and what the issue was specifically vehicles getting in front of my bus because they didn't want to be behind me. And I, on a single lane road, whatever, if there's a passing zone, pass me, but don't pass me and then slow down and then, be basically a dick about it because you're stuck behind me. What I want to talk about is 3-lane roads or 2-lane roads, or a lane where, I'm in one lane and I'm not taking up 3 lanes, I'm just taking up 1 lane, but for some reason everybody thinks that they own the whole road. And what would happen would be rush hour traffic was the worst, but what it would be is I would be in my bus and you count a certain amount of seconds between the vehicle in front of you and the front of your vehicle. And there's a formula to it. When you guys are taught, Class D drivers are taught in driving school that it's 2 seconds, and the reason that is because it's 1 second for every 10-foot vehicle, and your vehicle's over 10 feet, so it rounds up to 2 seconds. So then what you would do is you would see a landmark, like for instance a telephone pole, and as soon as that vehicle would pass the telephone pole, 1001, 1002, and then if you're there, you got 2 seconds, you're fine. But so like I said, it's 1 second for every 10 foot of vehicle. A 40-foot bus requires 4 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. But for some reason, people would want to get into that area to turn, to go to Starbucks, or to get into that lane because they got to go up the road, which then in turn makes me have to slow down even more, which then in turn backs up more people behind me, which then in turn takes more people and puts them in front of my bus, and then they go in front of me and they get in that space, and then I slow down, and it keeps doing that, and it keeps me from proceeding because I have to slow down. And the reason why you slow down is because that distance between the front of the vehicle, and this goes for semis too, Semis, it's a little bit more extreme. It's, you know, they're like 60 foot or 63 feet or something. Their trailers are 53 feet long. So then you include the tractor, it's like 60, 70, something like that. I'm not exactly sure on measurements quite yet because I haven't driven a semi yet. I will be. But that's your stopping distance. That's how long it takes for that bus or semi to stop, okay? So when drivers get in between that distance, you just put yourself in danger. And what I mean by it is I'm sure, you know, that driver is going to be able to see that you're going to cut him off and then back up. But if an emergency happens, and this has happened before, to where a vehicle pulls out in front of this bus, gets into that stopping distance, and then that first vehicle that he got behind slams on the brakes, then he slams on the brakes, then the bus slams on the brakes, and that bus came this close to rear-ending that vehicle. And that bus driver should have got a reward because the wheels locked up, but that bus driver let off and then hit. It's called stabbing. He basically stabbed the brakes to keep traction, and he steered around this vehicle, and if he hadn't steered around the vehicle, he would have rear-ended him. And when I said he came that close to hitting him, that's how close he was to the side of the vehicle. The front of the bus was overlapping the back of his vehicle by that much, but it was that much from the side of his car. So that bus driver, they didn't cause an accident, but because of that driver's ignorance and impatience, that bus driver almost rear-ended that car. And whose fault would that have been? That would have been the bus driver's fault. It wouldn't have been the guy who got into that space, because it would have been that bus driver's fault, because it would have been considered a preventable. And that goes for vehicles traveling under 40 miles an hour. Once you go over 40, you add an additional second. So, meaning 1 second per every 10 foot of vehicle under 40 miles an hour. You got a 40-foot vehicle and you're going 40 miles an hour, you're going 4 seconds in between the front of your vehicle to the back of the vehicle in front of you. Once you hit 41, you add a second. 40-foot vehicle, 41 miles per hour, 5 seconds. Same thing with big trucks. It's the same thing with cars. But that's stopping distance, people, okay? That's for you people that are out there. This video specifically, hey, I know that guy. Or maybe not. Maybe I just know the car. That's the 25th anniversary Camaro. So anyways, this goes specifically for the people who see big vehicles and they go, ooh, look at all that space in front of that truck. I got plenty of room. You just put your life in danger. And if you get smashed between a truck and a car and you die, it's your own damn fault. It's the truth. You know, that truck or bus or whatever type of vehicle is traveling that far behind because he doesn't want to put people's life in danger. He doesn't want to rear-end anybody. He's not doing it because he's being a dickhead and he's causing your day to go crappy and he just feels like driving slow. He has to drive speed limit, which is speed limit. It's not a speed minimum. You don't go over it, you stop at that limits. It's the limits, the outer limits. The limit is a limit, is the limit. So 45 miles an hour is the speed limit, keyword limit. You go 45 miles an hour as a CDL driver. You want to go 55 miles an hour and you're not a CDL driver, by all means. But don't put your vehicle in the path of a big rig or a bus because you want to get somewhere faster. Because if anything, you're making everybody else behind that bus even more angry. I've had to deal with that personally, and it is so aggravating, the fact that people just don't get it. Give big vehicles respect and room that they deserve and they need, okay? You're working your ass off, or maybe you're not working your ass off, to put food on your table, to shingle the roofs on your house, to supply the water going to your house with piping, okay? For the paint that's on the side of your walls, for the TV that's in your house, for the couches that are in your living room, for the beds that you sleep in at night, and for the light bulbs that supply light for you at nighttime. Who gives those to you? You go to the store and you pick them up. Do they make them at Home Depot? No. They are shipped and they are trucked in and they are unloaded and loaded. Those truck drivers are supplying your house with stuff that you need to survive. Give them respect. If a truck driver does something intentionally to piss you off, don't go stoop to his level. Get his truck number, get his license plate, call his company and say, your truck driver, you're this person, this, that, and the other thing, he was doing whatever. But don't stoop to their level. Give them respect, give them room. Don't cut a truck off. You may not think you're cutting them off. You know what I mean? You may think you're doing something innocent. There's so much room in between this vehicle and that vehicle, I'm just going to take it. You just put yourself in harm's way. You don't think that truck driver has counted behind that vehicle multiple times driving down the road so he can keep that distance? That's constantly what he's doing. He's constantly counting the distance between the vehicle in front of him and looking in his mirrors and checking everywhere around him to essentially predict idiot driving. And that's what professional drivers do. I'm a professional driver. And if you're not a professional driver, don't act like you know everything. And again, I'm trying not to make it sound like I'm being a dick to everybody, but I'm pretty sure someone out there is going to watch this video and go, oh, now I feel like an asshole. The one and only Rob. Out. I'm out.